Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. I had to grab a drink and use the restroom. Um...
Is there a problem here?
You're in a no parking zone.
Oh, I didn't know.
You didn't see the sign?
Let's
That wasn't
go
there
save the
earlier,
person who's being
right?
DK'd.
Really?
In Italy, they let you park anywhere.
Have a good day, sir.
Geico Sequel. The savings keep on going.
Senior advisor to Senator Bernie Sanders' campaign. Good to see you, Jeff. Thanks so much for your time. Let's start with South Carolina. They're coming off strong performances by Sanders in the first three contests. The New York Times reports it this way. Mr. Sanders plans to be up on the air with commercials in every South Carolina media market this week, and his staff is scrambling to add new rounds to the schedule as they take aim at their next big target. Overtaking the front-runner in Saturday's primary there, former Vice President Biden to all but extinguish his candidacy. Is that the goal for South Carolina, Jeff, to knock Joe Biden out of this race?
Well, look, Greg, we try to win every contest. You know, we're 3 for 3 so far. South Carolina, as you know, is a little bit of a bigger lift for us because they didn't do as well there as the other 3 states that we've already had back in 2016. But we've been working very hard there. We've got a great team on the ground. We've got, obviously, up on the air on television. We're sending out mail to folks. And we've been on the ground in South Carolina, you know, since the very beginning of this campaign. I think we're making a lot of inroads.
Let's talk about that 60 Minutes conversation last night. Bernie Sanders wants to provide Medicare for all, which has an estimated price tag of around $30 trillion. He's promising free public college tuition, wants to cancel student debt. Today he released a plan for free child care and pre-K for all. How does Bernie Sanders plan to pay for all of this, considering we just heard him say to 60 Minutes that he doesn't have a price tag for his plans?
Well, he does. What they ask for is, can you add them all up in the aggregate? Each individual plan is paid for. The child care plan you just talked about, pre-K, is paid for by a wealth tax. The free public tuition and the canceling student debt is paid for with a small tax on Wall Street speculative trades. Medicare for all is paid for in a variety of ways. You know, you say $30 trillion, but as you know, the current system, if we do nothing, or if we do what Joe Biden wants or Pete Buttigieg wants, is going to cost the American economy $50 trillion. So Senator Sanders actually is saving a substantial amount of money for the American people by getting rid of the excesses that the drug companies are charging, getting rid of the profiteering in the private health insurance industry, getting rid of administrative waste, so that we spend healthcare dollars on healthcare and not bureaucracy and greed.
But his Medicare for all plan, Jeff, just go back to it for a second. Two-thirds of Democrats in the Senate right now haven't signed off on it.
Well, I'll tell you this, 2/3 of the voters who went into the Nevada caucuses signed on to it. You know, there was a lot of attacks on Medicare for all in Nevada, as you well know, from a lot of sources, including other candidates, certainly doubling down on it. And when they did the entrance polls at the Nevada caucuses, over 60% of the folks who walked in there said they would get rid of private health insurance and go to a Medicare for all system. So, you know, the Senate is one thing, the American people is another thing. But we know that. Washington is disconnected from the American people.
Your candidate would be one of the oldest presidents ever elected in September. He said he would release his medical records. He suffered a heart attack back in October. This is what Sanders said after the heart attack again about his medical records. Here's what he said.
People do have a right to know about the health of a senator and somebody's running for president of the United States. Full disclosure, and we will make at the appropriate time all of our medical records public for you, for anybody else who wants to see them. But, you know, the first concern I think that people had is to understand what was going on before we're going to, reveal information dribble by dribble. But no, we've released all the...
You think this is a fair conversation? Obviously, you're doing this interview with me. It's a fair conversation to be having about health, about it, all of that.
He went to the campaign in December, released letters from his doctors who said that Sanders is fit to serve as president. There are the letters there. As you know, Jeff, those are not comprehensive medical records explaining his health history. Sanders now says he has no plans to release those full medical records. Jeff, has Senator Sanders, has he had any other cardiac events that have not been reported?
Absolutely not. And look, let's be clear. You know, Dr. Gupta, has looked at those letters from the doctors, which include one of the letters is from the attending physician of the U.S. Congress, who has been Senator Sanders' primary care physician for 29 years and lists every condition he's ever had. The other two letters are from cardiologists who are actively monitoring Senator Sanders' condition and give elaborate detail in their letters as well. You know, Dr. Gupta said that the information that's in those letters really gives one a sense, essentially gives one a sense of what his health is right now. He's released as much as anybody else has in this race. And if you follow him,
he's also the only candidate who's had a heart attack in the race.
Yeah, well, that's true, but other people have other conditions. Mike Bloomberg has had stents, as you know. Joe Biden has had health issues. Other people have had health issues. If you follow Bernie Sanders on the trail, and you can talk to your, Shaq, who follows him on the trail every day, I'll tell you, he runs those young reporters ragged out there on the road.
Bernie Sanders served in the House from 1991 to 2007. He's been in the Senate ever since, almost 30 years in Washington by my count. His rivals have said that in that time, Senator Sanders has accomplished very little from a legislative perspective. Can you name some major legislation that Bernie Sanders has introduced that's been passed into law?
Yeah, I sure can. He worked hand in glove with John McCain to pass the largest reform of veterans health care in decades. He added tens of billions of dollars, or I think it was $11 billion for community health centers, working with Jim Clyburn from South Carolina and others to vastly expand health care for people in urban areas and rural areas. As you probably know, in a bipartisan way, he just passed legislation, the first time in the history of the Congress passed legislation that would use the War Powers Act to stop President Trump from continuing his efforts, unauthorized efforts in the war in Yemen. So, on and on it goes. He has a vast legislative record. He operated with Republicans in the House and Democrats, frankly, liberal Democrats and conservative Republicans, to stop some of the excesses of the Patriot Act in terms of people's library records. He passed the cancer registries bill just so we could better track cancer across the country. He has a vast legislative record. We can have a 3-hour show where we go over his legislative record.
There is talk.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.
Have you learned your lesson?
Alright, let's go ahead and let the SP regen on its own, naturally. We'll be back here in just a moment once it's back up to full. We are still grinding. I wanted to go earlier, but it's like I kind of want to take some time to make sure I've got everything I need so that these battles are like not a breeze, but meh. You know what? I'm gonna turn on a Shin Megami Tensei lore video. Shin Megami Tensei lore? She's gonna keep using hers if we don't start using ours. Might as well burn a couple healing serums as well.